Welcome back to Blooming Rose Academy English textbook Honeydew Class 8. Today we will see the summary of lesson first, the best Christmas present in the world, part 2 from book Honeydew. In the first part I had told you that the writer Michel Morfogue found the letter. That letter was of Jim McPherson, and he had written that letter for his wife Connie McPherson. And in second part, whatever was written in the letter, that we will read. Jim McPherson writes in his letter, "Dearest Connie, I write to you in much happier frame of mind because something wonderful just happened and that I must tell about you once. When I will meet you, I will tell you that what had happened with me today." Further, Jim McPherson, the husband of Connie McPherson, writes to his wife that we all means actually Jim McPherson was a commander of English soldiers, and he was on a war with the German soldiers, and at that time he was on a and at that time he was to a no man's land. This no man's land was situated between England and Germany. Then over here in his letter, Jim McPherson says that we were means Jim McPherson along with his soldiers, they were standing to their trenches. Trenches means over here a dip where soldiers used to hide themselves. And yesterday morning means Christmas, it was Christmas morning, and the morning was as same as the Christmas morning used to be. This morning was like the morning of Christmas, and he had never thought of that. This morning was very cold, as we know that Christmas always comes in the time during winter season. So it was a cold morning, it's obvious. And then he says that whatever had happened on that Christmas morning, this was not started by the England soldiers. It was started by the Fritz. Fritz, it is a common name which is used for German soldiers. And now what happened? Now we start that story. Actually, one of the German soldiers was coming out from his trenches. From his trenches. Trenches means dig hole where soldiers used to be hide, just I told you. And he was hoisting a white flag in his hand. Since during war, a soldier was coming out with white flag, and since we know that white flag is a symbol of peace, means that soldier was requesting for peace, and he was coming out with his white flag and calling, "Happy Christmas, Tommy, Tommy." This word has been used for the English soldier. "Happy Christmas, Tommy, Happy Christmas." Then in reply, one of the Tommy soldiers, Tommy means English soldiers, they also replied, "Happy Christmas, Fritz, Happy Christmas." And then one more soldier started to coming out towards the English soldier, and during this time he requested, "No, don't shoot lads." Lads means guns, rifles. Don't shoot lads. Dads, don't shoot lads. And they were requesting for the peace. And then again many of the German soldiers come out from their trenches, and on seeing this, since Jim McPherson was the commanding officer of English soldier, so this sight was very interesting and very surprising for Jim McPherson. He also came out, and then both of the enemy's soldier, that is English soldier Tommy and German soldier Fritz. They started and celebrating their Christmas during the war period on that no man's land place, and they shared a lot of things. And actually, the British commanding officer, whose name was Hans Wolf, he said, gripping Jim McPherson's hands with welcome, I am from Dosdorf, and I play solo in orchestra. Happy Christmas. And then Jim McPherson replied, and a happy Christmas to you too. I am from school teacher. I am a school teacher from Dorset in the west of England. Ah, Dorset. He smiled, and I know the place. I know very well. We shared our rum and rasan. Rum and rasan was whatever we had brought over there for celebrating our party, like snacks, cold drinks, etc. And then Jim McPherson says that Hans Wolf was speaking English very well since he had never visited in England, and also they talked many of the things, and he also told about Hans Wolf's favorite book was his favorite writer was Thomas Hardy, and his favorite books were Far From and Meadow Crowd, and his other favorite books was Satwa, Gabrick Oak, Sergeant Troy, and Dorset. They also placed, and Hans Wolf had a wife and one son. His son was 6 months elder, and since after celebrating they were about to leave, but among them, Jim McPherson said that I don't know who told, but someone brought a football and they started playing. Then, starting with this game, Jim McPherson and Hans Wolf both clapped, cheered up, and they started playing. They were enjoying the football match. During this period, Jim McPherson says that it was looking like that the breath of both of the enemy's soldiers were meeting somewhere in the sky. And after finishing the game, Jim McPherson says that this match was won by the Brits, by the German soldiers, by 2 goals to 1. And Hans Wolf generously said, our goals was wider than theirs, so it was not quite fair. The time came when they too started. They again shared their snacks, sauces, whatever they had bought, and then after gripping themselves, this was a time to separate both of the soldiers from each other. And Jim McPherson and Hans Wolf said that how much better would be it if any of the war could be solved only with the help of a single match instead of to do war with each other. And this was the second part's summary of this lesson, and we will see the third part in next video. Thank you.